Today, we are going to talk about something really powerful: how single parents are completely flipping the script on wealth. And look, this isn't just about surviving or getting by. This is about building financial empires. Let's dive right in. To really get the scale of this, we have to start with this number: 25%. A quarter of all children in the United States, that's about 18 million kids, live in a single parent home. So we're not talking about some niche group. This is a huge part of our society.
And the financial pressure? It's absolutely immense. I mean, get this. In 38 states, childcare now costs more than in-state college tuition. Just let that sink in for a second. That is the staggering economic reality that we're working with here.
You know, this quote just hits the nail on the head. It reframes the whole conversation. The argument is that the struggle isn't about being a single parent itself, it's about the lack of financial resources. And that is exactly what we're going to tackle today: the actual tools and strategies to build those resources. Okay, first up, we're seeing this massive cultural shift happening right now. The whole narrative is moving away from a story of stigma and struggle and into one of real strength and empowerment.
So, what's behind this shift? Well, it's a few key things coming together. You've got hybrid work, which offers way more flexibility. You have social media trends like #SingleMomBoss creating these visible, inspiring role models. And there's this growing, intense focus on financial literacy and self-reliance. It's all leading to this new mindset where single parenthood isn't seen as a setback, but as a launchpad for incredible things. But look, this isn't just some nice idea or a theory. Let's get into the proof. Because building wealth as a single parent is a reality for so many people, and their stories really show what is truly possible.
First, let's talk about Emma Johnson. After her divorce, she started a blog called Wealthy Single Mommy. And it just exploded. It grew into this massive six-figure media business. Her whole message is about taking control, focusing on your career, and building your own financial empire. Then you have someone like Carrie Simmons, who pulled off this incredible financial turnaround. Just 4 years after her divorce, she rebuilt her net worth all the way up to $750,000. How'd she do it? A laser focus on retirement investing and a budget that was built around what she truly valued in life. Now, you might recognize this next story. You may have even seen the movie Joy. Joy Mangano, a single mom with 3 kids, invented the Miracle Mop pretty much out of sheer necessity. It's just the perfect example of how solving a personal problem can turn into massive, life-changing success. And finally, there's Kenita Smith. As a former single mom, she knew the struggles firsthand. So she founded an organization in Atlanta to help other low-income single parents. She gives them the financial literacy tools they need, proving that building wealth isn't just an individual journey. It can be a community movement that breaks cycles for generations. Okay, are you inspired? I hope so, because now we get to the really good stuff. This section is your toolkit. These are the actionable, practical strategies you can actually use to start building your own financial legacy, one step at a time. We're going to focus on 4 key pillars here. First, a budget that actually works for your life. Second, that all-important emergency fund. Third, a super powerful college savings tool. And finally, protecting the whole thing with the right insurance. All right, let's talk budget. That standard 50-30-20 rule you always hear about, it often just doesn't work for single parents, mainly because necessities like housing and childcare take up a much bigger piece of the pie. A more realistic split is closer to 60 or 70% for necessities. But, and this is so important, you have to budget for wants, even just a small amount for yourself. It's not a luxury, it's how you prevent burnout. Then, the rest gets automatically sent to savings. This is a great way to visualize it. I mean, think of it this way. You're giving every single one of your dollars a specific job. When you assign them a role, whether it's for needs, wants, or your future, you gain so much control and a clear path forward. Now listen up, because this is one of the most powerful tools in your entire kit: the 529 plan for education savings. The money in this account grows tax-free. And get this, you can actually superfund it by putting in up to $95,000 all at once to get that compounding growth started in a huge way. It is an absolute game changer. And finally, let's talk protection. As the sole provider, life insurance is it's non-negotiable. For most single parents, term life is absolutely the way to go. It's affordable, it's simple, and it does the one job you need it to do: replace your income and make sure your child is secure if the unthinkable ever happens.
So you've got the tools. Now let's put them together to build a really ambitious blueprint. We're talking about aiming for $1 million. Yeah, I know, it sounds kind of crazy, but the numbers show exactly how it can become a reality.
And that really is the big question, isn't it? With all the financial pressures, all the costs we talked about, is a seven-figure goal even remotely possible for a single parent? The answer is a huge yes, and here's the math to prove it. Now, assuming a pretty conservative 7% annual return, just look at these scenarios. If you start putting away $500 a month when your child is born, you could hit $1.2 million by the time they turn 18. And even if you start later, a catch-up plan can still build a massive, massive nest egg. I mean, this chart just makes it crystal clear. Look at the staggering difference between those two bars. Starting at birth versus starting at age 10 is the difference between $1.2 million and $650,000. Time is your single most powerful tool. It lets compound interest do all the heavy lifting for you. So, where do we go from here? This isn't the end of the conversation. It's really the beginning of your journey. It's time to take all these tools, all these stories, and start architecting your very own legacy. And listen, you don't have to do everything all at once. Building wealth is a marathon, not a sprint. The most important thing you can do is just take that first step. Maybe that's opening a 529 plan with just $50. Maybe it's just tracking your expenses for a single week. The key is just to start. So I'll leave you with this thought. That mindset shift from stigma to strength that we talked about, it's real. You are not just getting by. You are not just surviving. You are building an empire for yourself and for your children. So the only question left to ask is, what will your legacy be?